Today is Monday, August 4th, which means Christina Formella had her court hearing. Now, I can't even take credit for telling you about what happened in the hearing because I missed it. They went about half an hour early. The hearing was scheduled for 9:30, and Christina and Michael and all of them usually show up about 15 to 20 minutes in advance. So I got there at 8:45, which was plenty of time. Except it wasn't, because Christina never came walking through that front door. Which is interesting because the DuPage County Courthouse has two doors. This main one here and then another one around the back. But people say you can't go in the back door because there's no security. You can only go out. So you have to go in through the front door. So anyway, when I arrived, there was already media set up, and one of the guys said he got to the courthouse at 7:55 and that he had not seen her come in. And then at around 9:15, Michelle Mullins with the Chicago Tribune came out and said it was done. She said nothing really happened. They called Christina's name. She went up to the bench. They said they were still going through discovery, and they set another court date for October 14th. She said Christina Formella stood up there for maybe 30 whole seconds before she turned around with a smile on her face and walked back to her husband. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just wait here anyway for when she comes out. But then I was like, hold on a second. If she didn't go in through the front door, she's probably not going to come out the front door. She's probably going to come out the back. So we drove around. And right as we were coming around to the Circle Drive, we saw Christina and Michael crossing the road. The person I was with abruptly stopped the car so I could get out, at which point they see me, and Christina kind of had this shocked look on her face, and Michael looked at me and rolled his eyes. Unfortunately, by the time I was able to get out of the car, they were already across the street, so I could only photograph their backs. But it's interesting to me because this whole time they've been parking out in the front and doing that long walk up to the door. And I thought Michael was holding her hand just for show, but this time they parked somewhere completely different to try to avoid media, and he's still holding her hand, which tells me it's actually genuine. Here's just another photo of them walking out to their SUV. They were holding hands the entire time up until that point because, they had to squeeze through cars. Now, as soon as I got out of the car and started taking videos of them, Christina Formella's dad began whistling at me and yelling my name. If you zoom in on his face, he looks pretty pissed off. I imagine because nobody was supposed to find out that they were back there. Now, I did take a few videos, but I'm going to post them in a part 2.